Alright, good morning guys. Derek Shoehorn here for life advice. There's no warm-up points today, so I'm just going to get straight into your questions. I've been absolutely overwhelmed, to be honest with you, at the response to yesterday's video. Right at the end of that video, I touched on the issue of people turning into dolphins, and it seems like I've touched a nerve or hit a main vein or struck a seam, or however you want to put it. There's an enormous demand for advice for dolphins, as it turns out. I would never have guessed that, but I'm more than happy to field those questions and to help in any way I can. I've had questions from people who have turned into dolphins, and also even some questions from people who have been dolphins from birth. So it's a topic that's got legs, unlike the dolphins. So that being said, what I've done, the questions, like I say, there were so many of them, and they have touched on so many aspects of life, that what I've decided to do is just to try and answer as many questions as I can with one concise answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to boil it down in the same way that I do my own lifestyle program, into basically 4 bullet points, which are diet, exercise, meditation, and romance. Okay, so those 4 points, that's how I kind of organize my own well-being, my own self-improvement, my own life. So I'm going to try and apply that now to dolphins. And I'm not a dolphin. We all know that. But I think that with my powers of empathy, I can actually help quite a lot here. So without further ado, here are my 4 bullet points for dolphins, okay? So first of all, diet. Diet, I recommend plenty of fish. Okay, plenty of fish, because that's going to give you the nutrients you need to keep you strong, and it's going to keep your system working in the most functional way, keep you lubricated with all the oil in the fish. That keeps the mechanisms of your body lubricated. So it's very important when you are a dolphin to eat plenty of fish, okay? And that'll keep you strong. For the exercise component, which is the next one, for exercise, I recommend swimming. Okay, plenty of swimming, because that's going to be the most beneficial form of exercise. It's going to hit the most muscle groups in your body, in your condition. Okay, so plenty of swimming. And that relates also to the next point, which is for me as a human, it's meditation. And the way that I meditate as a human is I sit as still as possible. Stillness is a key thing in human meditation, but for dolphins that would be absolutely a terrible thing to do. Please do not follow the stillness route for your meditation as a dolphin, okay? Because if a dolphin doesn't move for too long, it dies. Okay, so what I recommend in place of meditation as a dolphin is long ocean swims. Okay, so maybe you could maybe take a trip around Cape Horn and into the Pacific, something like that. There's a lot of space there. You can drift however you like, for as long as you like, in the Pacific. And I imagine it would be a great way to meditate, because if you think about it, a lot of human meditation tapes use underwater sounds in order to relax you. So you'd have that there anyway. So that would be ideal. So the 4th point is romance. Okay, so those first 3, they were all for you individually. They keep you fit and healthy and ready to optimize everything in your life. And then after that, you have to be able to interact with other people, and specifically with the opposite sex, or in this case, a different species. Okay, so when it comes to dolphin romance, I will actually defer to another expert here, which is Captain Beefheart. And I know I said in the video yesterday that I was impressed with the Captain Beefheart reference, but then after that, the song was in my head, so I went and listened to it again, and I realized that it does actually contain some pretty strong advice for dolphins when it comes to romance. So what the captain says in there is that you should take up with a mermaid and leave those land-loving women alone. So I don't think I could put it any better than the captain himself. So that's the advice I would give there, and I would follow the captain on that. So let's go over those again: diet, plenty of fish; exercise, swimming; meditation, long ocean swims; and romance, listen to Captain Beefheart. Okay. So, like I say, I'm absolutely blown away with with the sheer scale of questions for dolphins that I've received, but it's great to know. It's great to know that that demand is there, and like I say, I'm willing to service that in any way, because if I can tap into that market, then that would be fantastic. Right, all of that being said, let's move on to the next question. Okay, yeah, so this question, it says, Coach, when global fame inevitably comes to you in the near future, and you become known only by one name, would you prefer Derek or Shoehorn? Alright, that's an interesting question. It's a speculative one. I mean, I agree with the premise of the question, absolutely. And the clue is actually in the question there, because if I do come to be known by only one name, I would prefer it to be Coach. And the reason I like that is because if someone calls you Coach, it means that they look up to you, they respect you, they admire you, they want to take your advice on things. So I'd love to be called Coach. No one has ever actually called me that before this question it did, but so thank you for that. And that's the answer to your question. It's quite a simple one. I don't want to be called Derek or Shoehorn. If I'm going to be known by only one name, I'd prefer it to be Coach. Derek, what is the biggest tool in your arsenal? Well, I gotta pick the questioner up on something here. An arsenal doesn't contain tools. An arsenal contains weapons. Okay, the thing that you're thinking of with the tools, that's a tool shed or a workshop. But an arsenal contains weapons. So I'm going to assume that you're asking me what my biggest weapon is here. And my biggest weapon is actually a very small weapon, believe it or not. I have it here somewhere. There it is. This is my biggest weapon. It's just a small blade. Really fits in the pocket nicely, very portable, very sharp. I've sharpened it up nicely, and it's ideal for stabbings. And this particular one, I've carried out 3 stabbings with that now. 2 of those were people who had stolen my information, and a third one was a misunderstanding. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. The biggest weapon in my arsenal is actually a pretty small flick knife there. Okay, so if your intent was something else with that question, then do get back to me, because it was hard to tell, because like I say, I was confused about the whole tool arsenal thing. I mean, if you'd said what's the biggest tool in your tool shed or workshop, I would have given a different answer, okay? But if that's what you intended with that question, then please do get back to me. Alright guys, I think we'll call it a day there today. Thanks for those questions. Like I say, absolutely brilliant stuff coming in. I've got plenty more questions to be getting on with as well. I've actually got even more than I can handle at the moment, which is fantastic, because it keeps us going far into the future. If you are a dolphin, please keep them coming in, or any other species for that matter. Anyone. Like I say, I don't discriminate. So keep the questions coming in on Facebook, Life Advice on Facebook, at Derek Shoehorn on Twitter, or leave a comment below this video or any of my other videos on the YouTube channel. Okay guys, I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.